The Federal Reserve leaving interest rates unchanged as a result of its two-day November meeting. The Fed saying in its statement that it is committed to using its full range of tools to achieve its goals of maximum employment and price stability. It said on those two scores, economic activity and employment continue to recover. However, the economy and economic activity remain well below the levels pre-pandemic. Inflation is held down, it says, by earlier declines in oil prices as well as weaker demand. The path of the economy, as it said in the past, depends on the course of the virus. The committee will maintain its purchases or increase them to smooth market functioning. No talk there yet. What Jim Cameron was talking about, which is a new QE program, not talking about that. It repeats for the second time that it seeks inflation moderately above 2%. This is a carbon copy of the last statement. I counted 7 words changed, and none of them really substantial or meant to convey any particular meaning. I think that reflects the big change, as Jim was saying, by the way, that was implemented last time of exceeding the 2% inflation goal, and the desire really probably not to make too many waves while the country counts votes in its presidential elections. Also reflects, by the way, this decision was unanimous, the lack of 2 dissents. One dissenter, Robert Kaplan of Dallas, seems to have made his point, and he's back with the majority after dissenting last time. The other dissenter, Neil Kashkari of Minneapolis, did not attend the meeting due to the birth of his second child. Tyler, back to you.
Congratulations to Neil Kashkari. Steve, what do you
Absolutely.
think? What do you think? 7 words difference, and we're going to spend a half hour dissecting those 7 words. Believe me. But what do you think about about Jim's point, which is the absence of stimulus may put the Fed back at, not that it's ever left center stage, but even more under a spotlight to do even more?
Absolutely. I think that's true. I think the Fed will feel pressure to do more, but it creates an interesting quandary, which is that, you know, the old thing, leave to Caesar that which belongs to Caesar and leave to God that which belongs to God. You know, the Powell has suggested that there are things the fiscal authority ought to be doing that it can do better, and really the Fed can't do. The famous line he's talked about is that, you know, we can lend, we can't do grants. So the question becomes, if the Fed indeed does do more because the fiscal side isn't doing more, why is it doing it? Why isn't that stuff that really should be done by the fiscal side? And does it do any good for the Fed to do more? Jim was talking about this issue of quantitative easing. I personally have my questions, and I've obviously talked about this with a lot of other Fed watchers. What good additional QE would do in this environment when the 10-year can't seem to get its act above 1%, no matter how much the government seems to borrow? There's no whiff of inflation out there. And by the way, it also has another massive tool, which is buying corporate credit. I think the panel can discuss this, and I know David Kelly has a lot of interesting thoughts on this, which is why would it go out and do more QE? Towards what end? What effect would it have other than some kind of psychological salve to a market that's demanding something?
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.